This year they scheduled in some coffee breaks around noon, but usually around the clock. We do weekly YouTube channel reviews. So Rob Wilson, who's around the floor here, he looks at channels and he audits them on our live stream. Jeremy's doing new user webinars, and we have an entire customer success team dedicated to helping creators win on YouTube. The key data set that I think is different than what we get from YouTube is around how we analyze keywords and do keyword research. It's 20 million US total over all the countries. It's like 250 million keywords, and totaling over 5 billion, analyzing over 5 billion search views modeled monthly. I'm gonna go through a lot of data here with a lot of slides. I was told by the VidCon people that this is part of a certification series. I'm hoping with that certification series that you're getting this presentation. If there's any problems, email me at rob@vidiq.com. We'll make sure personally get the slides. And the VidCon people did tell me to let you guys know that this is part of like some sort of certification series where you get a LinkedIn badge at the end if you do enough of the courses in this specific track. So what is YouTube search? It's roughly 7% of the average channel's video views, over 5 billion searches a month, bigger than Bing, AOL, Yahoo combined. But it's more than just that little sliver of 7%, right? It is very highly correlated to browse functions. So what you see on your homepage, the feed of YouTube content is highly correlated to suggested content. So if you're doing search right, you're doing a lot of other things right as well. And when you nerd out on the SEO side, there's classifications of search terms, right? So navigational search terms, that might be like someone searching for PewDiePie, which is like always a top 20 search result. Informational, like I want to find out more about baseball or basketball or E3 2019. Transactional, so you want to look up something before you buy it. Many people now, they buy on Amazon and they look at YouTube reviews before they watch their video content or they make that purchase. That's like kind of the nerdier way to break it down. I like to think of them as like more things that make sense. So music is by far the biggest category of search terms on YouTube. Channel viewing, a lot of people don't always subscribe. They're like, hey, I want to watch the latest PewDiePie video. I want to search that and find it. How-tos is massive on YouTube. It's a growing category on YouTube. Niche-based items like van life, surfing, Fortnite, those are nothing to do with what I might be interested in, and purchase decision-making as well. So this is our analysis on over 100,000 videos, 20,000 channels, breaking down how YouTube classifies this content and where those searches are going on YouTube. So music is a big part, entertainment, that's, that could be SNL to any sort of broader entertainment stuff, and gaming's Fortnite, whatnot. We launched this in the Chrome extension before we came to VidCon, is this concept of topics. So YouTube in the background classifies this content in a ton of different ways. They don't show you this because why is it important to the creator necessarily, but it should, it is a pretty important thing. So we've kind of known for showing all the tags next to every video. Right now we're showing topics as well. It's a really cool way to see not just how people classify their own content, but how YouTube is classifying the content themselves. And it's not just via text or tags. We're finding that YouTube is more and more fully digesting videos and making sense of them with visual recognition. So there is profanity on this, I apologize. But this is the global top search terms that we analyze. Old Town Road right now is freaking massive. ASMR, DTS. You may see specific things to your specific niche. We'll give this out afterwards. This is global, and this is broken down over US. Obviously, Atika, the tragedy. We have ASMR, which is quite bigger in the US, and again, Old Town Road, PewDiePie, and whatnot. We're going to talk a lot about these search terms. We're going to break them down, dissect them, talk about what are the most opportunistic keywords and how you can find those most opportunistic keywords. These big search results are really hard to rank for. You know, like everyone's competing to get exposed into Old Town Road and all of the Baby Shark and all of these top search terms, and a lot of them are locked down. You know, YouTube's already figured out what the Baby Shark video is. You know, it's hard to break into those categories. So these are the top ones. We're gonna dissect this a bit. And I think it's important to talk about how YouTube thinks about search. You know, and you know, I don't work at YouTube, but it's pretty clear that there's a method behind how YouTube is ranking things. And we can show a lot of graphs here on, you know, keywords in the title, prior success with related search terms, custom thumbnails, subscriber channel size, all these really things that, you know, when YouTube doesn't know a lot of stuff about your content, right, they just don't know. You just say, hey, this is me, and they haven't analyzed the video. They haven't seen how viewers respond to that, the watch time that they have, the success in them searching for that video and finding that video and watching the video. So at day zero, there's not much to go on except all these like historical things on your channel and the metadata you've provided. And over time, it becomes less relevant, and the things that they rely on more is the viewing behavior of your video content. So it's you know, it's important to, you know, make sure you're optimized initially so that you have the opportunity to make sure you're viewed by YouTube, you know, holistically. And this is the dream, right? Like this is a top 20 search term on YouTube, how to tie a tie. This guy is living the life. Tie Knot. It's a YouTube channel. Hasn't been active for 6 years, and he's still ranking #1 for the search term, generating millions of views every month.
Wow.
You know, that's what it's amazing. You know, but genius, right? Like he really niched himself into this category. And you're seeing this a lot now with BTS just blowing up. You're seeing a lot of vlog channels just become like the vlog reaction family channel, you know, and they're winning with this strategy. But if you niche and narrow yourself, you can go pretty far. I mean, this has been 8 years and he's still #1. And he's just very he was very focused, and that's still paying off. I like to think, though, you know, not of YouTube as like some person. I like to think of him as a gorilla, like an angry gorilla that's like, he's like just can't be bothered, very angry, you know, indifferent towards everyone's aspiration to be creative and get their video out to everyone. But when that gorilla looks at you and he gives you like a little thumbs up, you're over the moon, and you're going to remember that, and you're going to double down on that, and you're going to, you know, pay attention to that big old gorilla. This is Marshmallow. Whoever's on their audience development team they saw that top 20 search term, and they're like, hey, we're Marshmallow. We got 26 million subscribers. Let's try and upload a how to tie a tie video. And this is how I imagine the engagement between Marshmallow and the 800-pound gorilla. It's like, hey buddy, want to rank my video? He's like, who are you? You know? He's like, because he's freaking busy and doing a lot of work. He's like, dude, it's Marshmallow, dude. Like, you know, like party time. He's like, okay, I know who you are. Send me the title. How to Tie a Tie by Marshmallow. He goes, what are you? Music content. You don't create educational content. What are you doing over in this side of the spectrum of YouTube? He's like, just check. Subscribers are loving it. And you know, and the gorilla watches the video because YouTube's gorilla can watch videos now. And he's like, all right, it's got the tie content on it. Like you talk about like putting on a tie while he's dancing. It's really a creative video, but what does thumbnail look like? And you know, Marshmallow sends over the thumbnail. And dude, look at that thumbnail. Like, I should have made that bigger, but there is no tie in that thumbnail at all. It's just Marshmallow holding a thing that looks ridiculous. And he's like, dude, sorry, buddy, that freaking thumbnail's whack. He's like all sad. You know, I'll always rank you, and, you know, but the gorilla's like, I'll always rank you for music-related content. You know, just what, you know, there's too many bad signals here. It's, this is an interesting example because that video not rank with the tens of millions of subscribers against that 100,000 sub channel that's been inactive for 8 years. It did not even get close to getting in the top 10 list, right? And there's a few things going wrong there. The thumbnail was off. The genre of content was completely off from his typical niche in music. And it was 48 seconds long, which is way too long. What we all need to do is be the gorilla. This gorilla wants to be fed, it's hungry, it wants long, informative, successful searches, right? When someone searches for how to tie a tie, they don't want to find out that this user is going back to how to tie a tie to search for another video, because that video didn't answer my question. It's looking to find videos on search that answer the question, and a bonus if you can send them to additional content. And we do a lot of analysis across the board on search. This is another part of our study on over 100,000 videos, looking at traffic trends and how it relates to minutes, the duration of the video. So and what we find is the sweet spot's between 10 and 20 minutes. So if you're getting in between those two, if you're getting it that long, you're gonna generally do better than others. That's not every search term. How to tie a tie in general, their average duration is like 3 minutes, but not to suggest analyzing that before you go and commit wholeheartedly, but generally 10 to 20 minutes longer views are doing really well with search right now. Another be the gorilla moment. Will people click on the thumbnail and the title? Is this the best type of, is it gonna generate the most click-through rate as well as the most successful watch?
Shut up.
They want to make sure that you're putting in the effort to really focus in on the search term. You can't just be haphazardly, especially with how competitive this ecosystem is, to put up metadata without any thought at all. They really want you thinking about this. I love the search term how to solve a Rubik's Cube. It's another top 20 US. It's a huge niche. One of our intern was describing to me, like, I guess everyone's trying to get under a minute. And, people are not just putting the search term in the title, but they're getting it in the description, they're getting the keywords in the tags, they're putting them in playlists, they're, and unless you're a big how-to channel, like Brightside's a big how-to channel, so they can break into how-to categories. Like, you want to be a channel that's like the Z3 cubing channel that's just all about Rubik's Cubes. The other interesting thing that's really, really new is how, at least in the Android app now, if you go and you watch video content, you'll get delivered custom related video lists to each video. And so what YouTube's doing now, and this isn't via the API, we can't get this data yet, is they'll auto-categorize content. So a lot of these things are being recognized visually by YouTube, and they're being classified as cubes, or it'd be surfing or Fortnite, and it's, check your videos. Make sure that YouTube is recognizing your content and putting it into, classifying it in these things. It's very similar to auto-generated channels. If you're triggering the algorithm in this way, you're gonna get more exposure on in general. We also looked at title length. We talk a lot about titles, like how long should they be? What's too long? When you go over 60 or so characters, you kind of get cut off in a lot of experiences. But on search, we were finding that the more, the longer the length, the better overall. So we didn't see any downsides to title length on search. Especially and with tags, no downside to tags. Filling out your the keywords. There might have been a little bit of tail off towards the end, but this is a graph of up to 500 characters. So filling it out with what we would strongly suggest is very focused keywords specific to your search term, especially at first, and then broadening out to generally your channel. How many people here post closed captions? All right, how many people here do not post closed captions? All right, this is for all you guys. If you really want to rank for search, you should be closed, especially the ones that you've identified for a topical search term, like BTS reaction, Rubik's Cubes, etc. You definitely want to be giving your video content the edge to be recognized by the gorilla and be able to identify your content easier than without that closed captions.
Little stupid.
Now, once YouTube's figured out your video content, that's probably gonna matter less, but initially that really makes a big difference. This is a universal finding in thumbnails and we have a talk tomorrow by Jeremy, just fully dedicated to thumbnail analysis, and we've done a lot of work there. But search, I was not expecting search to have a heavy facial requirement, but the data speaks for itself, and what I think is going on is there's a lot of entertainment searches that are skewing this data. I think if you're looking at Rubik's Cubes or like something very specific or niche like van life, they want to see the van, maybe they want to see a few people, but they, generally speaking, if you're going after a broader entertainment strategy, I'd suggest thumbnails, and if you're going after a niche like Rubik's Cubes, you want to take a look at it, make sure to see what's performing, and then, make a decision from there. Philip DeFranco always is killing it with his thumbnails. I always love bringing him up as an example. BTS, one of the most competitive search terms in the world right now, faces on the thumbnail. And I think this is, honestly, these thumbnails could use a lot of work. We like big thumbnails. We find a lot of data, and the bigger the thumbnail, the more views that it's going to generate. On average, it's going to have higher click-through rate. And we also used this vision analysis on thumbnails to detect how much text is on the thumbnail. And what we found was that, if you're throwing in purple cube live event moment, that's just too much distraction. 1 to 10 characters inside of a thumbnail is perfect, but don't pollute it or it'll hurt your click-through rate. Again, we go back to the Rubik's Cubes example. One easy way, that's like a perfect amount. And you probably want to look at the search term to see also is like, hey, could be putting text in this also distract people. So the next topic I want to talk about, this gorilla, like he's like frolicking around this big jungle, like there's bananas everywhere. And he's like, dude, this is a big jungle. Why is everyone coming over here at Fortnite and BTS in Old Town Road? Like, why don't you come over here? Like, there's nothing over here. People are searching for this. And so how do you find the gorilla's like play area where you can just jump in? And so this is an analysis of the top search terms that have how-to in them. So top one being how to draw, how to slime, how to basic. I don't know what that means. Not cool enough. And how to lose weight fast, like some heavily searched search items. But listen, this is just the top search terms, and a lot of people know these are the top search terms. And if you're a big channel and this is related to you, I would suggest taking a stab at it. But you also want to look at where there's people searching, but there's not as much competition, where there aren't these like 10 million sub channels just hogging all the attention, or really niche channels taking everything, like Tie Hole. So I don't know why how to jailbreak iOS 12.3.1 is on this, but it's probably because it's new, and it's probably hard to do, and it requires like a video to walk you through it. How to crack Fortnite accounts, Minecraft on PC, duplicate items on Minecraft. We'll be giving this report after the fact. Specifically related to Fortnite, if there's any gamers out there, the top ones: Fortnite funny moments, item shop, song, montage. But that's not the top one that's got the most opportunity, right? Custom matchmaking, Fortnite Live is a no-brainer right now. I want to walk through that. BTS, again, one of the biggest global search terms going on right now. And again, the channels that are doing BTS reactions, heartbeat reactions, are going to concerts and they're recording their reaction as they're at the concert. People are going all in on this, and we're seeing a lot of success there. And 2019, which is something that if you're doing anything like event-based or it's relevant to this year and people are searching and they want to know the latest advice on the topic that you're answering, include 2019 in the title. But and right now in the last 30 days, E3 2019, Democratic debate, Nintendo E3, this is another sort of search term that you can look at and try to find things. But again, what are the most opportunistic ones? We see a lot of traction around the sign telling space, and yeah, I think it gets once you get past that, there's like soccer things going on right now. All right, so there's opportunity, there's high search terms. Let's talk about how you go and find those, right? And what your goal is, and what you want to walk away from here is you want to be able to identify a search term or a trend that you know about, that you can find, but that not everyone else is going after. And there's a few tools to go after this. I'm going to walk through Google Trends, YouTube itself, and ourselves as with our tools to show this. So Google Trends, everyone's used Google Trends, right? All right, well, you got to make sure you're narrowing it down to not just Google search. You want to be searching on YouTube and going down to those related queries, typing in whatever you're creating content on, and finding breakout keywords related to your content. Putting those keywords back into YouTube and seeing if there's a heavy amount of usage, heavy amount of top channels creating content on that. If there's not, it's a great opportunity for yourself. Putting these search terms into the YouTube search bar, I'm sure everyone's doing this, but I'm going to point out the obvious. Finding, but it's still a great way to find very specific niche keywords. This is incredible. So YouTube in the last, I don't know, year, 6 months, they've really started pushing this searches related to bar in the navigation. It's not always at the top. Sometimes it's like way down at the bottom, but it is a tremendous way to find other really relevant types of content. And let's say you're creating custom matchmaking Fortnite videos. Well, maybe you want to create a Fortnite song video, a Fortnite season song video, and you have to think too. Like YouTube is personalizing these results. They're customizing them to the people that are viewing them. What I see will be different than what you see. And if they're watching you on custom matchmaking and you're creating one content on Fortnite song and they search for a Fortnite song, they're going to get directed to your video, not the competitors, the set of competitors that are just competing there. So it is really good once you get yourself into a niche to also find other niches, as the personalization effect is really, really strong. This is the search page with our extension installed. So we will show you like the search volume and the competition and an overall score related to that. We'll also show you related tags with the overall scores. Overall score is just like where the value in the white space, how much of an opportunity this is for you to go after. That tool in particular is like just you installed tomorrow. We also have a keyword research tool that'll allow you to search by overall, find all of these keywords that I was showing you earlier, and kind of break down by where the most opportunity is. That was Fortnite. This is BTS, reaction to BTS reaction, just a lot of stuff going on in that direction. And we have a new mobile app, which is worth checking out. You can install that on via our vidIQ beta right now. Apple is blocking us as they want everything to go through them. But we'll get through it. Anyhow, so you found this keyword, right? Like, and so I'm in love with the BTS scene right now. I think it's really cool what's going on there. Let's say you're the Report Card podcast and you're creating, you're approaching the algorithm, you're approaching the gorilla, and you're like, want to get, your search views. Hey buddy, you seen my new video? 31,000 subs. You really think you can break into BTS? But this channel's all BTS, all reaction videos, right? He's like, dude, I think it's like a high opportunity search term. He's like, yeah, you're right. There is a lot of opportunity here. There isn't any locked in content that's nailed this down. Let's get you in here. We'll see how you do. And again, he's watching that content. He's not just taking the title and description. He's analyzing it, making sure there's BTS audio footage in that content. And of course, hard to get hold of the gorilla. And Yeah, and he was ranked number one. When I was checking in this morning, he was ranked number one. And what they'll do is sample that content to see how that performs, make sure the length of that content is heavily watched, and if it does well, it'll stick to that page longer. That was the best gorilla ability I had. Okay, and there's the other tactic that we've implemented. Our channels, focus on creators, but we did branch out into this trend of PewDiePie versus T-Series. Number one search term for a while on YouTube, and we saw Flare TV doing this. They were doing like thousands and thousands of concurrent live streams, and it was killing them. And we created our own live stream. Rob got on there. We had a little ticker. It was easy 60,000 subscribers, including and we went to June and July. It's just an easy growth opportunity because we jumped on it as soon as it came about. So my suggestion is, if you see any new trends coming out, if you feel like you can't break into that search term, an alternative strategy is to consider a live stream, especially if it's a breakout search term. And we saw Flare TV grow from 100,000 subscribers to 2-point-something million right now, for them being first. All right, yeah. So in summary, I just want to just be the gorilla. Think like YouTube. Create the content at once. Longer videos, stronger metadata, thumbnails, closed captions, and consider live streaming for trending. I appreciate you guys' time, and we'll be doing Q&A. Thanks. See this guy, thank him. He's our intern. He did a great job helping me with the presentation. There is no question.
No, that's not
Yeah.
him. That's the other
Yeah, so the question was the box next to the YouTube search, was it, is that available for free? So that section is, and we give 3 related keywords for free, and then we start with like a $10 upgrade from there. Yeah, I think it's the same. I could be wrong. I think you get 3 for free on the related, and including the search term. But I'll definitely check it out. Definitely check it out. It's definitely 3 for free in the mobile app. But yeah, pretty sure about that. Yeah, you can come on up.
What do you want to know? Any questions?
It's not working.
Like, do you want to know questions?
Right. So if I have a viral video that went viral anywhere else except on YouTube, and YouTube just keeps it at like 20,000, meanwhile like Facebook has 50, 60,000. What is it that I can do? What is it that I'm not doing right that YouTube, I just want to punch him in the face. I just want to go up to him like, why are you ignoring me?
Yeah.
Right? What do you do?
It's a big old gorilla. What are you going to do to a big old gorilla?
That's why I haven't punched it in the face.
Yeah. Have you considered the live streaming any of your videos when you're trying to break through?
Well, we don't have that much. See, that's the reason we don't have much subscribers yet. So
Yeah.
we have like 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you're live streaming, even 1,000 subscribers, you can break into some of these top trending search terms.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Because we're gonna squeeze in another one, remember?
We just
Yeah,
live stream.
I know, but I want that
just
one.
live stream.
Yeah. That's the
531?
tough part,
Yeah.
right? Like with PewDiePie
So
versus
the
T-Series,
531
there's a
is which
clear
one?
path.
Analyst?
A lot of
Not
these
stuff?
paths
No,
are
huh?
difficult to figure out.
530.
But if it's a
Which one
BTS
was it
reaction
called?
video, you might be
Yeah.
live
How to go
watching
viral.
BTS reaction videos as
At
and
5:30?
reacting to them while the video's playing.
Oh, where I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Without, for a channel that doesn't have a niche, a specific niche that it's catering to,
Yep.
it seems like it's going to be harder to break through into any sort of category. But do you have any suggestions for if I'm creating videos, how I can
What room?
No.
show up in
Time.
people's related or search
What time?
tabs with
Yeah.
my
5:30,
video
girl?
specifically?
I know. I'm trying to make sure.
Because
but what's the
YouTube doesn't
name of it?
understand
Oh,
me as a
How to go viral and
Fortnite
build an
gamer,
audience.
Right.
though I want to make a Fortnite video for
Yeah.
today.
Oh, for your next.
Yeah, that's
I'm doing my
broad
community
channels are
post.
really hard
Okay.
at a small subscriber count.
Yep.
You gotta really break through, and I- painfully difficult. What I would consider is niching yourself initially and becoming the best at something or really good at something, and then once you get that audience, consider broadening out to a broader channel.
And just for a specific niche, all I would have to do is find
Dude, move your head.
whatever would be trending in a specific field, and then move on from there.
Yeah, I wouldn't do something like
Okay.
too,
Yeah.
You want to stay
like,
to a class?
like it's going to be gone tomorrow, like E3, right? Like it's going to be gone in a couple months, but you know, something more long. BTS is going to be around for a while. There's a lot of very topical search terms that are trending that you can niche in yourself. And the main thing is be passionate about. I mean, this is a creative endeavor. If you're not really interested in it and you're just really forcing yourself, you're not going to have the energy to keep pushing through when it's required.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, this might be a little bit of a basic question, but you were talking about the keywords and to use the specific ones initially, and then they get more broad as you
Yeah.
put them in. Do you end up
What's that,
diluting your message with too many keywords? How many are the ideal amount to put in?
Yeah. You know, obviously, putting in things that are unrelated to your channel aren't only going to hurt you. If you tell YouTube, like, hey, I have no idea what my content's about, and your authority with them drops, it's going to kind of hurt your chances of having that opportunity to rank for the things you want to rank for. So again, super niche, narrow on your first 10 keywords, and broadening out from there. But the good news is like keywords, by and large, long term, I think they're getting really good. As every day that they get better at machine learning and analyzing videos and coming up with what exactly a video is, the lesser these smaller things matter for the algorithm.
So is it better to put like 20 or 40?
I would say,
I mean, if they all
yeah.
apply
Yeah, I would say just really relevant tags to the maximum amount.
to the maximum
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I heard that if you over keyword or you reuse not reuse content, but like if you post the same content over and over, like if I post vegan, just tons, that it affects, like YouTube doesn't really want to promote you anymore. Is that true?
If you oversaturate a certain topic,
Yeah.
and so what could happen is if you are creating a lot of content around a specific niche and it's not going anywhere, YouTube could be saying, hey, like we gave this person a shot, it's not working, like, that there is the odds of that, but I would consider not just doing like the broad vegan categories. I would be really looking at the niche down search topics. So what are the vegan recipes that someone's searching for that there is no good results for? And really hunt for those vegan topics that haven't been oversaturated and try to break in that direction.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, how are you?
Great.
My daughter and I get a little confused and we're not sure where do we do the hashtags and how important are the hashtags. We notice that when we do upload on the phone, we don't see the option. And so we don't know, but we need a little bit of direction there.
So hashtags, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they're set from the description. So if you put your hashtags in the description, I think up to 3, you can get them into the video itself. So
Okay, up to 3.
up to 3.
And only you always have to use the number. I mean the pound sign,
Yes, pound.
and then the word.
Yeah.
Like they say music or whatever I want on the hashtag
Yes.
related to what I do.
And I think the general rule of thumb is any signals you're sending to YouTube that your content is niched and specific to this content is great. I don't have specific results or data that shows like, hey, hashtag versus no hashtag.
Okay.
But I would,
Yeah.
everything that I've seen would lean that way
Okay.
from how they've done business. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
So I was curious as to if your videos are monetized or not monetized, does that affect search relating ranks at all?
Yeah, we haven't looked at that one specifically. I've asked that question a lot myself because vidIQ we don't monetize our channel. I'm like, hey, is that hurting our odds of ranking for certain things? We don't have data on that. I would love to know that question. That's a big one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Maybe we'll figure that out.
Hey Rob, great presentation. My question was about closed captioning. You said it's very important to have closed captioning on to make things more searchable.
Yeah.
Does that also work for auto-generated closed captioning, or just if we upload a caption file?
The analysis we did was on the uploaded caption files.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'd like to say also great presentation, really enjoyed it. My question's more along the lines of when you talked about Google Analytics and YouTube search in support of omnichannel. I mean, do those two things sort of flow along with what you see searched on Amazon? Does one sort of lead the other? Never been able to pin that question down in all the reading I've ever done. What do you think?
So the question is our, can you
So
restate
say
the
something,
question?
so you see something doing really well in Google Analytics.
Yes.
Is that a leading indicator of how it'll do on Amazon, or does it start in one way or the other? Are they related at all? Is that something? This is a question along my
So a
question.
broader question on Google
it has to
Analytics
be,
versus
empty.
Amazon?
And also on YouTube,
And
how
on
things
YouTube.
are searched in general.
Yeah, so with certain tools, you can see if certain Google search results have video snippets associated with them versus have no video snippets associated with them. So there is indicators out there where you could try and figure out, hey, is this an unrelated video term that I should be focused on, or a video related term? It's a tough question, you know. There is a lot of data sources out there where you can look at holistically, like you can say, okay, I want to look at Amazon and Google and compare the results from a, just like what's the volume on these two things. I wish I could answer that a little bit better. The problem is I'm not dialed on Amazon yet, which is a crazy platform.
Hi. So two people already kind of asked similar questions. I was hoping you could elaborate on it. But there's a common theory about the more tags you use, the less attention you'll get from them. Like the exposure is like spread out or split up between them.
Yeah. The results we've seen haven't indicated that, but the thing that is happening every year is that it's less and less important, right? So our results show like, hey, there is no penalty, right? And YouTube's not penalizing broader, too many, keywords with too many tags. So we haven't seen it, but I honestly think that every day that goes by that YouTube's machine learning technology gets better and it's getting scary good. Those sort of indicators matter less. If you are known as a channel that's spamming and like just putting up irrelevant keywords, it's going to hurt you long term though. So I would make sure everything is contextual and related to your video. You want to have your authority, your relationship with that gorilla, a big old guy. You want to make sure like, hey, you're not lying to him. Everything's about, you say what you're saying is what it is.
So by like tags and everything, are you talking about like when you upload a video, YouTube says, oh,
yes,
put these tags here?
Yeah.
Or like in the description you can put the hashtag something, or
I was talking specifically about tags with hashtags. I just know it could have changed recently, but my knowledge of a few months ago is it's three hashtags that you can set, and then I don't know if you even set them if you add too many.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens after that point.
Thank you. Great
Yeah.
presentation. By the way.
Thank you.
Hi, I work in scripted entertainment, so I work primarily with fiction and trying to get exposure for that.
Yeah.
And I do have vidIQ, and I'm trying to optimize it, but obviously, my content isn't like, we're not repeating like the title or the category because it's fiction, they're having like dialogue. How would you recommend optimizing for either like fictional content, scripted content, just like more entertainment leaning?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So you, as an entertainment brand, like what's the turnaround for a scripted piece?
I do. I actually work for a company that puts out a sci-fi show on Twitch every week.
Yeah.
And we upload the streams to YouTube. And I also work a little bit for Pemberley Digital. So it depends, weekly mostly, with like breaks in between.
You're still putting content out there though that is
absolutely.
relevant and current, and all the memes and all the vernacular that everyone's using is going to relate to. So I would just suggest like leaning into certain topics or keywords that have opportunity, that have search volume behind it, long-term search volume, because you clearly don't want to wait. It takes you 2 weeks and it's already dead. You don't want to be creating content on it, but preparing for those tentpole events. We know E3. We know a lot of things are happening every month. when you script content, you can prepare for those events. We know they're gonna get a lot of search views, and at that moment, you can, take advantage of that and create a parody of, like, all Comic-Con,
It's a series, like it's an episodic show, so it's a little
It's tough,
challenging.
it's tough.
Yeah.
If there's ways to lean in, I would suggest looking at it,
Okay. Would YouTube scream at us if we were tagging for kind of like tentpole events or trending terms, but like the analytics of the show, because scripted, it wouldn't, or the analysis of the show wouldn't show that we're talking, like that the entire video is talking about that, or that the content is not like specifically about that event? Would it like penalize us?
Yeah, if your content's not about that piece of content, and you're either stuffing keywords in your description or putting them in your title or your tags, again, it's all about, you want to have a strong relationship with this beast. Right? You don't want to have authority, so.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you.
Hey, you talked about the relationship